Donald Trump's shutdown of the US Foreign Aid Agency has sent shockwaves across Southeast Asia, including in Thailand, where medical centers serving refugees from Myanmar have been forced out of operation. We begin with the fallout of the Trump administration's decision to freeze foreign aid programs and effectively shut down USAID, the government agency responsible for international development. The impact is already felt in Thailand, home to some 90,000 refugees from Myanmar. Medical care for the displaced people has been paralysed. Leo McQuinn reports.
As the dust settles on the Trump administration decision to freeze funding to USAID, the effects are already being felt in Thailand. The Mae La camp houses thousands of refugees from neighbouring Myanmar, but now, without US funding, healthcare services in the camp have ground to a halt, forcing patients to be transferred to a local hospital. The developments have left many of the camp's residents fearing for their future.
We have no idea what will happen to us. We don't have money to buy medicines. We all will die if we don't have any medicine at the camp.
Southeast Asia as a whole will be particularly impacted by the funding cuts. USAID operates in 6 of 11 countries in the region, Thailand, as well as Cambodia, Laos, Myanmar, the Philippines and Vietnam. In 2024, the agency allocated $860 million to the region alone. Another country that will be hugely affected by the cuts is Afghanistan. One of the agencies that relies on USAID is the UN Sexual Reproductive Health Agency, named UNFPA. Without it, women in Afghanistan could be in even more danger than ever.
Every 2 hours, a mother dies from preventable pregnancy complications, making Afghanistan one of the deadliest countries in the world for women to give birth.
Aside from the potential humanitarian catastrophe, concerns are growing in Washington that temporarily halting assistance opens up a window of opportunity for China. The former assistant administrator for USAID in Asia has called the decision an extraordinary setback.
The Trump administration has put America last while handing a gift to our biggest adversaries, notably China. America's alliances will suffer, U.S. partners will be at risk, and America's enemies will rejoice.
In 2018, the Chinese government created China Aid in order to streamline the country's spending. Now, some experts believe that the void left by USAID could hand China the upper hand in the battle for soft power.
Donald Trump has begun a trade battle with China, but in Hong Kong, he took centre stage at an unlikely place, the iconic Sunbeam Theatre. Veteran actor Lung Kun Tin portrayed the US president in front of a packed audience singing in Cantonese, using a traditional operatic style usually reserved for Chinese folklore. Olivia Salazar-Winspear has more.
It's not exactly a pitch-perfect version of the 47th President of the United States of America, but Trump, the twins' president, is still a huge hit here in Hong Kong. Building on an original production dating back to Trump's first term, it uses the traditional comedic codes of Cantonese opera, giving it a modern twist.
It's Cantonese opera with black humour. The development of Cantonese opera has significantly changed since Trump on Show debuted in 2019. The assassination attempt scene is definitely the show's biggest selling point.
Indeed, performer Lung Kun Tin recreates that memorable moment of Trump's campaign. But the 3-hour show also touches on geopolitical issues.
I think this is funny because it brings together different unrelated elements like time travel, China, and the US.
As well as providing comic relief, the production also hopes to introduce a new generation to a historical local art form.
Young people are curious and surprised by this presentation. I think that, objectively, it will help young people understand what Cantonese opera is, what it's trying to show, and why it can address a new topic like this one.
Unfortunately, the show comes too late for the Sunbeam Theatre, where it's playing to sold-out audiences. The venue's set to close after more than 50 years hosting Cantonese opera. But Trump, the twins' president, will be back on stage in June elsewhere in Hong Kong and also hopes to go on a world tour.